Everyone has access to the portal for their desk phone. However, if you are given Office Administrator rights to the portal, you will have access not only to the settings for your desk phone, but also access to settings for your entire company. To log into the portal, you enter in your extension, followed by your company name. For this demo, I am using the client demo, and then your password. When you log into the portal as an office manager, instead of going to a dashboard showing you items for your phone, such as voicemail and call history, you instead are taken to a dashboard showing all active calls for the company. If there were any current active calls, then you would see the caller ID of who made the call, who they called, and the current duration of the call. There are other statistics on this page that show call volume information that you can look through if interested. If I click on the Users tab, I will be taken to a page showing all users for the company. This page shows a list of all extensions and ring groups, along with the name assigned to them. If there is a tag next to the extension, such as Setup Required or Password Required, it means that they have never logged into the portal for their extension. Later in this demonstration, I will show you how to send these users an email, allowing them to set up their password so that they can log into the portal. If I click on one of the extensions, such as Terry Adams, it will take me to his profile page. This profile page, along with the other tabs on this page, contain many of the same items that Terry can change when he logs into the portal under his credentials. But as an office manager, it allows you to make the setting changes for Terry or any user as needed. On this page, I can change things, such as the first and last name and email address. I can also change the password for this extension, along with the PIN for accessing voicemail on this extension. You can also add multiple email addresses by clicking on the plus icon. In addition, if you want this user to receive a text message when someone leaves a voicemail, which also transcribes it, you can put in the text email address for this user's cell phone. Each cell phone carrier has an email address for sending text messages. For AT&T, the pattern is your phone number followed by @txt.att.net. For the other carriers such as Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint, you can do a Google search to see what their pattern is. The Answering Rules tab allows me to change the rules on what happens when someone calls this extension or when a call is transferred to this extension. By default, the extension is set to ring for 25 seconds, which is about 4 to 5 rings. And if no one answers, go to voicemail. If I want this phone to ring for less than 25 seconds or longer, I can adjust it with this drop-down list. Let's say, in addition to ringing this extension, I would also like to ring a cell phone. To do this, I click on the Edit button, select Simultaneous Ring, check Answer Confirmation for off-net numbers, which is something you always want to check when adding cell phones to this list, and then add the phone number. If I want to add multiple phone numbers or extensions, I can click on the plus icon to add up to 15 numbers. As a side note, when a call comes in and your cell phone rings, it will show the caller ID of the person calling you. It will not say that the call is coming from the office. However, if the call is coming from the office, a short message will play after you answer the call saying, hit 1 to accept and 2 to ignore, which lets you know the call came from the office. And you can then answer it the way you would answer any call going to your office phone. If you hit 2 or simply hang up, the call will go to your office voicemail, not the voicemail of your cell phone. That is why you want to check Answer Confirmation for off-net numbers. If you don't, a phone call that is not answered may get picked up by your cell phone's voicemail. Another option for simultaneous ring is you can adjust when these extensions start to ring. When this user is at their desk, they may not want their cell phone to start ringing immediately as their extension starts to ring. So to solve this, I can adjust the cell phone to ring 5 seconds after the extension starts to ring. I'll hit Save to see the changes. You can now see that when someone calls this extension directly, or when a call is transferred to this extension, the extension will start ringing, and then after 5 seconds, the cell phone will start ringing. And after 25 seconds, if neither phone is answered, it will go to the desk phone voicemail. Let's click on the Voicemail tab to look at the voicemail settings. Once again, all of these settings can be done by the user when they log into the portal for their extension. This just allows you to make the settings for them. There are many settings that you can modify for this page, but a couple of settings that I want to point out are: Operator Forward allows the person listening to the voicemail greeting to exit it by pressing 0 and not being stuck with either hanging up or leaving a message. You can put it in someone's extension or a ring group extension to ring more than just one phone. This is helpful when the user is out of town and you want to give the caller the option to leave a message or press 0 to speak with someone else. Copy to Extensions allows you to send a copy of all voicemails to any extension that is added. By clicking on the plus icon, you can add multiple extensions. The Greetings section allows you to set up your voicemail greetings and allows you to record your name to your phone. Next to voicemail greetings is a drop-down box that allows you to choose what voicemail to play if you have multiple voicemails. If I want to listen to what Terry has recorded, I can hit the play button. If I click the Manage icon, it will allow me to re-record the current voicemail greeting or add an additional one. Since I want to just change the existing voicemail, I'll click on the Edit icon and then choose Record, which by default will call my extension. However, if you are not at your extension, you can instead change it to someone else's extension, or even put in your cell phone number, and the system will call your cell phone, allowing you to record the new message. To start this process, hit Call, and the system will call whatever extension or phone number is in the box. Finally on this page is the Unified Messaging section. By default, each user will receive an email when a voicemail is left. The email will contain the text transcription of the voicemail, along with an attachment containing the audio of the voicemail. The rules on how it is delivered is determined by this drop-down box. The last tab I want to show you is the Advanced tab. This allows you to click on the Send Welcome Email button, which will send an email to the email address tied to this extension, allowing the user to access the portal. If you use auto attendance, this tab will allow you to modify the settings for your auto attendance. For this demo account, we have 3 auto attendants, depending on when a person calls our company. We have an auto attendant that plays during business hours, one that plays for after hours, and a third one that plays during holidays. If I click on the business hours auto attendant, you can see all of the various buttons that someone can click on when they are listening to the business hours auto attendant. If I hit the play button, I can then listen to the audio message and make sure that the buttons are set appropriate to the message. Here, you can see option 1 goes to the sales ring group, option 2, the support ring group, and option 0 goes directly to the voicemail at extension 215. I can also click on a number that is not set and choose all sorts of options, such as send a call to user, send a call directly to voicemail, call an external number, or even add an additional tier of options. If I click on the Options icon, I can set what happens when no key is pressed, or if an unassigned key is pressed. If I want to modify the message that plays for this auto attendant, I simply click on the Manage icon, choose Record, and then enter in the extension or cell phone number that I want the system to call. Also, remember that the recordings and options for each auto attendant can be different. If I look at my after-hours auto attendant, the recording is different, and you can see the 1 through 9 options are different too. Determining when an auto attendant plays is set by using timeframes, which you can get to by clicking on the Timeframes tab. Here we have 3 timeframes, which match the descriptions for the auto attendants. For example, the rules for business hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If I want to change this, I just click on the time frame and use the scroll bars to modify it. If I want to add Saturday hours, I just click on the checkbox and set up Saturday. I can even click on the plus button to divide up the day. Holiday timeframes allows you to choose specific days so you can easily set up future holidays, such as Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, and more. The Music on Hold tab allows you to upload your own recordings. By default, we have music that plays, but you can add whatever you'd like, as long as you have permission to use it. You can even create a commercial for your business that plays when someone is on hold. There are several companies that will create these for you. If you write the text, you can choose the type of voice you want, and they can even add background music. Let us know if you're interested in this, and we can give you some websites that can do this for you. Lastly, the Call History tab will allow you to view all calls for the company. Since this account I logged in as has Office Manager rights, I can see all of the calls for the company. A user that has access to just their extension will only be able to see a list of their calls. The Call History list will show all calls, who the call was from, who was called, and the duration of the call. If you have call recording turned on, then from this page, you can also listen to the audio for this call and even download it to your computer to keep forever. If I click on the Filters tab, I can change the date range for the calls I'm interested in viewing. I can also specify an extension, the number, and the type of call, such as inbound or outbound. There are a lot of filter possibilities. That wraps up the Snapcom portal for office managers. One important item is that if you are an office manager, by default when you log in, you are taken to the Office Manager portal. To view the portal for just your extension, click on your name at the top right-hand corner and then choose My Account. This then takes you to the portal for just your extension, the same thing that users without Office Manager rights will see. As you can see, instead of seeing the active calls for your company, you will now see a dashboard for your extension, which shows voicemail messages and call history. Any tab you hit at the top of the page will allow you to make settings changes for your phone. If you then click on Manage Organization, you will be taken back to the Office Manager view. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.